Hey, I'm Kimera G for Gala Music, and today I'm going to tell you the story behind my first drop, King Me. If we've just met, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am from south of Boston. I went to school in Connecticut, and I lived in Los Angeles for about 10 years before moving to sunny San Diego, and I love it here. I come from a very musical family. My mom was in an opera when she met my dad, who was playing French horn in that orchestra pit. That's how they met. So naturally, I followed the music path. I went to college to become a recording engineer, and pretty much right out of college, I got signed to Sony as a songwriter. I will talk about that a little bit more in just a minute because it is related to the lyrics in King Me. I was signed for about 4 years and it was not going well. Long story short, I negotiated myself out of my deal. I got released from my deal and I've been independent ever since. I have worked with a lot of amazing producers in my career. In fact, the very first microphone I sang into was Louis Bell's. We are actually from the same town, Randolph, Massachusetts, and a little further down the line, I actually was in a girl group produced by Lou. Thank God that was not a success because I would not have been happy with that lifestyle. But anyway, so back to King Me. I have not released my own music in years, probably because of my darker experiences in the music industry and the path that led me to. What I've been focused on in the last 4 years has really been just making money with music in any way I can, because I got sick of it. After about 10 years of kind of not really getting anywhere in the writing for major artists world, I realized I needed to take matters into my own hands. I wanted to make this a lucrative career, and I was going to figure out how to do that. And I did. I actually have about 25 music revenue streams, and none of them have to do with major radio. However, with my focus so heavy on just making money and grinding, my relationship with music started to become a little transactional. And one day I was talking to my friend Krista Youngs from Join the Cult about how I was feeling a little creatively starved, even though I was working on multiple songs a day. And she said, "Have you heard of Gala Music?" And I had not. She said, "If you're creatively starved, why don't you just create shit and put it out there?" So I went to Gala Music, checked it out. I started browsing around and I realized I was starting to have a very unique listening experience. I'm pretty sure you feel it too. When you're listening to new music on Gala, there's just this connection that you instantly feel to the artist. You feel like you really care about the artist you're listening to. And you feel like your listen, your stream actually means something. It actually means real monetary support to this artist, not just a way that like boosts their numbers and maybe they get charted and maybe people see them, that's cool. But when these artists are seen because you've streamed their music, then people start buying their music. Then these artists really start earning from their hard work and their passion. And that is such a beautiful thing. So I'm glad my curiosity brought me to Gala Music and I was able to have this experience of like, wait a minute, we're not just another song in the sea of Spotify crap. To quote Emily Lazar from September Morning, there's just all this fast food music. There's this instant gratification, doesn't really support the artist. We're not really helping these artists by listening to their music on Spotify, but listening to their music on Gala, it makes a difference in their lives. And so at first I was just happy to have discovered this, to feel that listener experience. But I let the curiosity continue, and for the next few weeks, I just started making beats. And I didn't have a purpose. I just was starting to make stuff for fun for me. And I did have this concept written in my phone. I keep a note in my phone anytime I get like a song idea, a concept idea, I'll write it in there. And I had written down something about King Me in probably just one line. And I thought maybe I should write King Me. So one morning I sat down on my desk and I was like, I think I'm going to write King Me today. Spoiler alert, I didn't. I spent about 3 hours really kind of in a cerebral place. I need to get this right. I need to find the right drum pattern and really just nail it. And I spent hours getting nowhere. I think I made 5 beats that day. They might be cool beats, but they weren't King Me. So I walked away. And the next morning, sat down at the desk. I was like, okay, brush it off. Let's just start. I think within 15 minutes, I had it. I was like, this is it. I know what I need. I just made like the basic drum pattern and the bass line, and that's all I needed. I bounced that out, made it into an MP3, and what I do every single time I want to write a song is I take my laptop and I drive down to the beach, and I actually write every single song that I write in my car. I don't know what it is. I just love it. It gets me in the zone. I look out to the ocean and I can write my songs. Finished it up, wrote the song. I was ready to go. Went home to start the recording session. And I remember thinking, I think this song is the color red. So I made all the lights in my house red, all the lights in the booth red, and I started to record. The final product that you hear is not how it started out, actually. When I started recording that intro rap, I had so much fire in me and so much passion, and it's almost like I was using my words to like punch someone in the face. And that's how my delivery was coming out as well. I was rapping like hella hard and like yelling. And after a few minutes of this, I took a minute and I just thought, I don't think this is the vibe. Because when I think of those like Italian mobsters, what makes them harder is that they are soft. They are cool and calm. And I felt like that's how the song needed to be delivered. So I scrapped everything, started over, and I gave it this super cool, chill delivery. And I just knew we had it. Once the vocals are done, once I vocal produce it and everything like that, that's when I bring it back to this desk and I finish producing all the rest of the track. Mixed it. I was super happy with it. Honestly, it was really kind of a fast process. I was just in such a zone, in such a flow that it really just felt easy to finish this song. And as a lot of producers do, we gotta finish the session by doing a good old car test. So I brought the song down to the car, went for a drive, bumped it 100 times. And I know I'm supposed to be all like cool and hard for this song, but I have to be honest, I cried so much because this song means a lot to me. I don't remember if I have ever written a song that has felt so representative of who I am and how I feel, how strong I feel now. There's a pretty tough meaning to these lyrics and the real story behind that fire. My story in the music industry, which is a lot of people's story, it was a really dark couple of years. And this has really nothing to do with Sony. This has to do with management. This has to do with the individual people that try to control your career. And without going into too much detail, I will just say there was a lot of emotional and mental and verbal abuse. I'm very fortunate that was the extent of it for me. I mean, there was definitely sexual harassment, like left and right. Like that's just normal at some point. But thank God no one ever laid a hand on me. My mental state, thanks to managers and business people who made me feel constantly like I was just never gonna make it, never gonna write a hit song. They just made me feel like a failure all the time. They made me feel like they were the gatekeeper to anything. I was not allowed to reach out to my people at Sony that signed me. I was only meant to deal with my management. I definitely signed contracts under duress and intimidation. At this point, those contracts are dissolved and I am free from them. But all of these experiences led me to quit. One day, I finally, for the first time, called someone at Sony and I told them, I cannot work with these people anymore. I hate music. Fast way forward. I had to do a lot of inner work, a lot of, like mental strength training. And if I really look in the mirror today and I look back at the girl that got signed, we are not the same breed. And I'm glad because I was very weak. But today, fucking king me, because I just don't actually care what anyone thinks about me anymore. And I realize when I am in that state, I am the most authentically myself. And we think about what people think of us so often. It's like borderline impossible to not care, just even a little bit, what other people think about us. But I do not care anymore if someone doesn't like the song. That's okay, because I like it. And sure, maybe some people genuinely won't like my song. They won't like me. That's fine. I don't mind that. Everyone has the right to feel what they feel. But I think, funny enough, the day we stop caring what other people think of us is the day most people respect us and they like us and they think we're badass. So that is just how I feel in this song. I just feel on top of the world and I feel fully okay to be myself. And by the way, who am I? I'm a fucking badass. And so when you listen to this song, I want you to feel like a fucking badass. And it's okay to want to have 9 figures in the purse. Go ahead and put the game in a because it's fun and it feels good. You know, I had let that trauma win for a while. And I even convinced myself at one point, you know what? Actually, maybe I don't need a Grammy. I don't need that validation. It's just some external validation. And I am proud of my music and I don't need that. Okay, we're over that. I would like a Grammy, please, because I think that would be fun. Whatever would light us up, we should be able to have that. I want to talk about one other part of the song. In the second verse, there are some lyrics that relate to a big event that happened back in August. I had a freak accident and basically it was a chiropractic adjustment gone wrong. My head was twisted in a way that caused a tear in one of my arteries and that caused a mini stroke. So when I went through that knocked me on my ass for quite a bit. Definitely had some PTSD from it, but I am just a chronic optimist. I look for the lesson in everything, every terrible thing that could happen. There's gotta be a lesson. There's gotta be something we can learn from it. And so there I was sitting on the couch in recovery, just thinking about how I can grow from this. And I thought, you know what? I'm at real low capacity right now. Like I can't do very much. I would get really tired, even just like, you know, going to the kitchen to make something to eat. I felt like the universe was telling me, you got to figure out how to hit more birds with less stones. And so I just rethought like my whole operation of career, life management, everything, and how I can not just like live life to the fullest, like such a cliche, but to actually live life in a very optimized way, mainly pertaining to career so that I can get more done in less time and live more. It put a lot of things into perspective and I just feel a lot more present with life because of it. Okay, I have a surprise for you. So like literally only a week before the song dropped, I went on a little vacation to Joshua Tree with my friend Nicole and I played this song for her in the car and she lost her shit and she was like, you have to make a music video. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I'm just doing this for fun. I don't know where this is going to go. You know, I don't want to like spend a lot of money on it or anything. She was like, we don't have to spend any money. We're going to shoot a music video tonight. I was like, okay. So I have some sexy outfits. Let's do something. So we literally got creative and just shot this thing on iPhone. And I thought I would share that with you right now. I hope you enjoy it. And thank you again so much for connecting with me.
9 figures in a purse. I put the game in a hearse, flip birds, flipping chips when they swing at me. Well, I say, fuck you, king me. I put the game in a I put the game in a You created a monster. Is this what you wanted?
Make old money look like no money.
If success is the best revenge and I look like this, you don't wanna see the other guy. I know what he did, nah. 9 figures in a purse. I put the game in a hearse, flip birds, flipping chips when they swing at me. Well, I say, fuck you, king me. 9 figures in a purse. I put the game in a hearse, flipping chips when they swing at me. Well, I say, fuck you, king me. I'm gonna walk like the doctor said. This bitch will never step in 6 inch again. When the blood stopped, put it into perspective. I got 1 stone and a lot of birds to hit. And I realized I am the shit. My time is very, very, very exclusive. This is a rare sighting. Kimera G Chiron is biting. Do nothing to your liking yet, but you get so exciting. Easter egg, wanna see inside. IYK, then try. 9 figures in a purse. I put the game in a hearse, flip birds, flipping chips when they swing at me. Well, I say, fuck you, king me. 9 figures in a purse. I put the game in a hearse, flipping chips when they swing at me. Well, I say, fuck you, king me. I put the game in a 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 9 figures in a purse. I put the game in a hearse, flip birds, flipping chips when they swing at me. Well, I say, fuck you, king me. 9 figures in a purse. I put the game in a hearse, flip birds, sinking ships when they swing at me. All I say, fuck you, king me.